I'm going to need you to close your eyes, and when I start doing the introduction, feel free to open them. So,
okay, so what, can I look that way and then go that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look at that, just don't, I can't have you see me.
Okay.
Today I'm squaring up with Brad WOLFMAN Ramsey. He's going to be fighting in Shuriken Fight Series 17. How are we going, Brad?
Good, mate, how are you?
I'm good, mate.
Good.
What do you think of the mask?
Original, I like it.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I like to break the ice with a game called In the Pocket.
Okay.
Where it's, I don't know if you've seen any of the other ones, but it just throws fast fire questions at you.
Oh, God.
And you just, best if you don't even think. You just answer the question.
I think I'll be all right at doing that.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right, who is your favorite fighter?
TJ Dillashaw.
Would you rather be knocked out or submitted?
Submitted.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Ooh, raptor.
Do you go sock shoe or sock shoe shoe?
sock shoe shoe.
Would you rather wear the same pair of underpants for 2 weeks or the same pair of socks for 4 weeks?
Socks.
If you drop soap on the floor, is the soap dirty or is the floor clean?
Ooh, that's like a deep philosophical question. I think the soap would be dirty.
Right, and to finish off, what's something you're really bad
at? Probably a lot of things, but guitar. I'm not the best at guitar.
And what is something you're proud of that you never get to brag about?
That I don't get to brag about. The only thing that I'm good at that it's the only thing I brag about is fighting. So,
right. So I want something else though, because I know you're good at fighting.
Oh. Some would disagree. I don't know, coaching.
Coaching?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, because I was wearing the mask, I got to ask, where did the nickname Wolfman come from?
My original coach gave me the nickname Wolfman because it's kind of like two parts. I was able to grow a beard really, really quickly, really young.
Yep.
So I started training when I was 16, 17, and I already had kind of like just the side of the beard going, and he said it reminded me of the old Wolfman movie. And then plus, I have a reputation for losing my temper in the gym when things don't go my way, and I yell. And everybody kind of said that was like me turning into the Wolfman, so it was kind of like a two-part kind of thing.
So does that mean today things went well for you? Because you were pretty...
I try to hold it back now, but yeah, today was a good day. But yeah, usually people will tell how bad of a day it is by how many times I yell out.
You touched on earlier that something you're proud of is coaching, and after scrolling through your Instagram for a bit of research, most of your recent stuff is you pushing your like coaching brand and stuff. So
yeah.
What you spend a lot of your time doing these days?
Yeah, well, now that I'm trying to be a full-time professional fighter and doesn't obviously pay the most, so yeah, we have a great facility here, and my background and training is strength and conditioning, so that's what I did through uni and what I've done for work previously. So now I'm just making it more fight specific and trying to help the next level of guys coming up, and kind of my way of giving back as well, trying to get them training properly from a younger age and not doing the same mistakes that I did.
Yeah. So what kind of mistakes would that be?
Overtraining, doing the wrong kind of training, copying stuff what you see off social media and bodybuilding magazines and stuff like that.
That's where I learned all my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You were an amateur for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's like, is that because you're like, you know what, you didn't want to take the risk to trying to go pro? Because it takes a lot of commitment to...
Yeah, well, I had a bit of a big gap when I went to uni. Mm-hmm. I had one fight while I was at uni in the first year, and it was just too much to try and train full-time, work, and uni as well. So I took a break after that and then got a pretty good job straight out of uni. So I had about nearly 4 years in between, and then I had my first fight only like a year and a half into training anyway. So like I started straight away in amateurs, took a bit of a break, and then once I started settling into life, then I kind of came back into it. So
yeah. Was it hard to kind of take that step back after
Yeah, it was, but it was good in the way that I got to develop like the career that I want to do after fighting as well. So yeah, I don't think I'd be able to go back to uni now. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it then.
Is after fighting always something that's kind of in the back of the mind of the pro fighter, or because it's such a dream where you need to be a little bit crazy to do it?
Yeah, definitely.
And so it's like it has to be the only thing you think about. But then realistically, you need to it's a finite thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you need to think about what comes after. So how do you balance that?
I'm definitely, that's something that I've struggled with in the past, is the balance between it, and I can get a bit obsessive over fighting and stuff like that. So especially when I've got a fight booked, it's all that I'll focus on. But I'm trying to do better at still enjoying life and doing other things as well, so that it takes your mind off of it as well. And I think it kind of helps with the preparation when you're not always thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way you're making it sound is it kind of sounding you're saying it like it's a negative thing, but it's like the only way to do it. It is the correct way, wouldn't you say? To be obsessed, to be focused?
Oh yeah, I think it's but learning how to switch it off so that it doesn't interfere with everything else, and you're not constantly overthinking about everything outside of the gym. And you need to be able to relax and switch into that recovery mode so that you get the best from your training. And yeah, it's good to look back on your training and think that you can do better and what to improve upon, but if you're just sitting there all night thinking about it, then you can go a bit too crazy.
Yeah.
You got to be
the
crazy.
wrong kind of crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So your training partner today was Logan Price.
Yeah.
And you guys actually fought.
Yeah, way back in the day, yeah.
Were you at the same gym then?
No, so that was when I was still training up in Whangaproa. So yeah, he was my second amateur fight, and I was training like only 2-3 times a week, going for the occasional run, and then, like I said, going and doing the stupid bodybuilding.
The casual,
Casual, yeah. I was a casual MMA.
Well, hobbyist.
But, yeah, exactly, hobbyist, yeah. And then, so he was my second fight, and he kind of showed me the next level of what was to come, so, yeah.
And then once you ended up at the same gym as him, were you kind of like, was it rivalry still there? Or
Nah, we basically became like #1 training partners as soon as I started training here, and like we helped each other like reach that next level. So he's always my toughest round and always my biggest push in the gym, so yeah.
Do you go for each other, like when I say go for each other, like search each other out to train together because you push each other?
Yeah.
Or do
definitely.
coaches make the decisions for you? Or who you train?
No, like, and we're pretty good at knowing each other's like level and how hard to push on different days, and so yeah, it's just we got a real good training style together. So it's
Did it take a while to find, or did you guys click straight away?
No, we've been training together for, it's got to be close to 6-7 years now. So yeah, it's built up over time for sure.
You find each other's rhythm.
Yeah.
And so not all of your amateur fights were in promotions. Like you fought at the World Championships.
Yeah.
What's that like? Like I mentioned, it's a lot different to fighting in a promotional fight night. Is it more similar to like when you go to a jiu-jitsu comp or something like that?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more low-key, I guess. It's not as like the SFS shows are it's a big spectacle, right? It's a full night. You've got the lights, the cameras, the action, I guess. So more of those kind of like grassroots shows or just like local shows. It's real good to build up your experience, and then
Can you remember what your first local show was like, and nerves and?
Oh, my first actual fight was on the Shuriken Fight Series back in the day. So
right.
I think I had my first 3 fights were on a big show before I did any kind of like grassroots type ones as well. So it was kind of good in a way that going down to the more lower level ones afterwards, it wasn't as nerve-wracking, so I could focus on the performance.
That makes me think of, it's kind of like going skydiving before you bungee jump.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Makes the next one not so scary.
Yeah, but do you think it kind of deprives you of like when you kind of try to achieve something, you're like, what's next? And you kind of skip the rank, so it's like you took away a sense of achievement, or am I overanalyzing it?
Yeah, maybe. Because I didn't really know any different. I just said to my coach that like I've been training for like a year and a half, and I was like, oh, I really like this. This is fun. I'd I want to actually give it a go, and I want to have a fight just to see if it's something that I could do. And then yeah, that was just the first one we set up was on the Shuriken show. So, and then that's all I knew, and that's what I thought it was. So yeah, once I started doing some other shows that, or the grassroots fights that are a little bit lower level, it was like, oh, it's not as scary. So yeah, it makes the bigger events more special, I think.
Speaking of bigger events, you're fighting on Shuriken Fight Series 17. I almost said 2017.
Yeah.
So was it been a year? You thought 15 was your last one? 14?
Yeah, last year was the last one.
Yeah. What's the kind of period that's considered ring rust?
I'm not too sure. I don't think it will be an issue because I've had quite a few fights, and it's the first one, and it's it's our show. You know, it's home field advantage. So I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. And then I haven't been out of the gym that whole time, so I've been training the whole time. I've done jits competitions, I've been at the show cornering and helping for the ones that I missed at the end of last year, so I've been all around it, so nothing will change.
And you mentioned that your very first one was Shuriken, so what was that feeling like, just going straight to
it was more of a ignorance is bliss kind of thing,
really?
right? Like
Yeah.
I had no idea. I just went into it saying like, I want to fight, I'll give it a go. Had no idea what to expect, no idea what it was about. Never seen a live MMA event before my first one, so yeah.
So was your second one scarier than your first then? Because you suddenly knew what to expect and maybe put more pressure on yourself?
No, I think it was more the fact that like the first one went so well, it was like maybe I was a bit overconfident for my second one. I was like, oh, I just got to train, show up, fight, win, and it's all good times. And then yes, it doesn't always work out like that.
Well, yeah, speaking of, you're coming off 3 losses.
Yeah.
It's interesting talking about this sort of stuff because you don't want to be too negative. But what does that kind of do to you mentally as a challenge and to try grow from that? And
well, there's always things to learn from every fight. Like going from my first 3 pro fights were all 3 finishes within the second round.
Yeah, I've got that down here that I predict this fight second round finish.
Yeah, and then to go to 3 straight losses. Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was rough to begin with. But if you look at each individual fight, like it's not as bad as it seems. Like my last one, I feel like I was pretty dominant throughout the whole fight and was a minute away from victory, and then just got caught with something, and that's just the name of the game. Yeah. Like
that's why we love it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like anything can happen. So yeah, that was a lesson that I can't lose focus, even if it's for that last 30 seconds of a fight, because you can get caught and things can happen. And then yeah, the 2 ones before that were against really tough guys and promotions outside of New Zealand, so big learning experiences, and it just proves that yeah, I can kind of hang with the guys that are at the top in different countries. And so yeah, it was good experience, good learning experience from all of it.
Is that kind of the key to, I guess, losing? Is it's not about I'm not good enough or whatever, it's about what can I learn?
Yeah. Well, it's just the fact that like especially the 2 that were in Australia against like really tough up and coming guys that have fought for championships over there, it's learning that you can do this. And maybe if I'd thought a bit more about that going into it, I might have been more successful. So yeah, learning to believe in yourself maybe a little bit more.
So you've got an advantage coming in over your opponent where you've done the song and dance quite a few times. This is his pro debut. So do you think nerves are going to play a part in your opponent's role coming into this fight?
I'm not too sure. I know he's had a lot of amateur experience as well, and he's really tough. He's young. He's got, he's got the youth factor on his side as well, so he's probably really excited and something that he's been looking forward to, making his pro debut, and he wants to, keep his rise going and make a big splash straight away, and I guess it's my job to play the spoiler.
Well, yeah, because I got that as well. That he's had a pretty stellar amateur career, only 2 losses, and he's coming off a bit of a streak too.
Yeah.
Do you think that might promote him to kind of be a bit overzealous and overconfident coming in? And that's something you might exploit?
Potentially, but I assume he's got a good team behind him and that they're going to be looking at me thinking that, oh, he's coming off 3 straight losses, he's a little bit older, you know, probably thinking like, oh, this is an easy pickings fight for him to make his debut. And
how much does the age thing play into, like, say, because you're mid-30s now, 34?
Yeah, 31.
31. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
And yeah, so that's still young though. Like,
yeah, I feel like I can.
Fighters are 36, 37.
Yeah, well, I feel like I keep up with the young guns here in the gym, so I think I'm at the perfect stage of experience and youth, I guess.
Yeah. Because they say fighters kind of reach their physical prime around 33, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just your best days in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
So can you remember what your pro debut was like?
Yeah. It was, again, it was home field advantage here, being on the Shuriken Fight Series. So,
which one was it?
I want to say it was SFS 9 or 10 potentially. Yeah, can't remember the numbers now. They all blur together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good fight. It was actually, I made my pro debut at lightweight because I couldn't get a featherweight opponent, so felt like I was maybe a little bit undersized on the night, but yeah, it went really well. Got the second round TKO finish, so couldn't really complain.
Yeah. So you feel a lot more at home fighting at featherweight?
Oh yeah, I mean, lightweight, I almost essentially walk around at lightweight when I'm in training camp and in shape, so it's...
Oh, so your cut's nothing, really?
Yeah, to cut to lightweight, I could do that tomorrow, so...
You mentioned earlier that you're bad at playing guitar, which is brave because you posted it on your Instagram.
Yeah. But it's definitely something I would like to be better at, let's say. If I didn't spend so much time here, I might be able to play a bit more.
Yeah. So, would you consider yourself a musician, or is it just a hobby?
I would, just say it's a hobby now. It's definitely something that I was really passionate about when I was younger. But yeah, it's more something like to take my mind off of this place, relax, and just something enjoyable to do outside of training and fighting.
And is that kind of the only other thing you do outside of training and fighting? Or what else do you kind of spend your life doing?
It's friends, family, and chilling at the beach. And
did you beach your home?
Yeah.
What other than the gym?
Yeah, exactly.
Surf as well?
I used to. Definitely something I would like to pick back up again is hitting the waves. But yeah, again, it's some of these other hobbies take up too much time, so a big commitment.
That's what I always find fascinating, is what do fighters kind of do, like outside of fighting, and I want to hear about like their passions and stuff that other than fighting.
Yeah.
They're still people at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're not these violent. I was saying they, like you all. Yeah, it's just real interesting to. Kind of that's what I'm trying to do, is give a platform to fighters to be people instead of just fighters.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'll be watching. I'll actually be in the States during Shuriken, so I'll be watching on the Fight Pass, the very first one.
Very first one.
You can catch Brad fighting in Shuriken Fight Series 17 on Fight Pass. If you like these interviews, please like and subscribe, and thank you very much, Brad, and all the best for your fight.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
No worries.